All right, guys, welcome. Cards Korner podcast number
6?
7.
7.
I thought you were going to drop the...
Oh, election day episode.
Yeah, but the
trade deadline
Spanish
episode.
version of 7.
Siete.
All right. I know you're impressed with that, right?
You get better every day.
So did we actually decide to label this election day podcast
no, I just
episode?
thought of it right now.
Okay.
It's the trade deadline.
Trade
Trade
deadline.
deadline.
The lack thereof a trade deadline.
Absolutely. So we actually have a pretty good show for you guys tonight. We're going to start it off, though. We're going to do a giveaway.
Yeah, buddy.
So Industry Summit swag arrived at Turf and Dirt. If you guys saw the unboxing video, Stacy and I each received a care package from, wasn't it Beckett Media, like horse-collared everything? So we're going to do a little giveaway. We're going to give away some items. And in the next couple weeks podcasts, we're going to be giving away some of the swag that was in that. Next week will be a Fanatics Industry Summit shirt and an NFL ball cap. We will be giving away next week. So This week, we're going to be giving away and through the magic of television, you will see a closer image of this, but it's going to be a Panini mask. Little tag on the end of it.
Gotta have your face mask.
So Panini sent us another 6 of these, so we're going to give away one of those. And then the next item we're going to be giving away, this is from actually Panini, but it was made for the Hall of Fame. And it's NFL Centennial Celebration, Class of 2020. Honor the heroes of the game, preserve its history, promote its values, celebrate excellence everywhere. They are some pretty fat packs. And it's going to be some Hall of Fame cards. So each pack we're going to give away to a different subscriber.
Subscribe, share. They got to do the whole shebang.
Yeah, you got to then, subscribe, share, like, post.
Got to get up on Facebook. Let us know when everything was complete.
So we will give away to the first 3 that do that. All of the above.
I'm sure our producer will have that all put in order.
There was lots of
Correct.
good stuff in that box.
There was a lot of greatness.
slab
We're actually
cards.
going to open up a product that was in those boxes today. All right, so we're going to get into releases because releases are deep this week. So we're going to talk about, as we always do. Well, actually, first I need to remind everybody who we are. I am your host, Jimmy, and if you've not seen us yet, hello.
Hola.
I also have with us, as always, I have Devin and Tony, our resident Beatbox member.
The Cubano.
A little bit. So we're going to talk about what came out this last week.
Nothing good. Nothing. Just terrible product.
Probably a product that you got behind more than any, right?
I plead the fifth.
So 2020 Phoenix football released, and it has been fire.
It's fantastic.
We ran through our first allotment very quickly. It only took us like 2 days. We had to reorder it. Received, because we were only allowed 6 on the reorder.
Which is silly.
And we've gone through, how many we got left there? 3.5?
4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
And that's not with trying very hard. So
No.
I would imagine by Wednesday, we're going to be begging the distributor to send us more.
Yeah, I mean, the quality of it is definitely the little shaky part. The top of the cards, it's just the way they're cut. I did get some, like, boogers on one of them. It was a little
I thought I
shady.
noticed one of those last week that when I asked you why. It was kind of
Yeah,
cut downward like that.
it just got, like, a lot of remnants left over from when it was cut. But other than that, I mean, the visual aesthetics of the card are outstanding. And then once you get any color, it doesn't even matter what color you get. The color makes that card pop even more.
The surprising part of it, though, is I've opened up Phoenix for a lot of years now. Well, I mean, it's only been out for a few, but I've been seeing boxes with 2 RPAs in each box, and that's nuts.
Back-to-back boxes.
How do
Yeah.
they
Cool.
advertise it?
It's
just
2 autographs and 1 memorabilia
Yeah.
card.
Oh, so you're okay.
So you're getting a
Usually
a
it's
bonus.
1. Usually
Yeah.
it's 1 RPA, a basic autograph, and then a relic. Usually. But
Well, and then over the weekend, we had Dusty pull the RPA Clyde Edwards-Helaire to 25, but
correct.
helmet.
Helmet piece.
Helmet piece, not jersey, not glove, helmet piece out of 20. Gorgeous card. I mean,
Flattened? Is it flattened?
absolutely fantastic.
There's a little curvature to it, a little
it's a
bit.
yeah.
It's a thick
Oh,
one.
it's a
How many
beast.
point? I mean, what kind of top loader?
I think 100 and...
I think he hit a garbage bag.
180.
It was a monster.
So, but I would love to see them watch them cut up a helmet.
Yeah,
I mean, because I've seen them do pictures of a jersey, right? And
Yeah.
so they put the jersey down, and this thing that looks like a waffle maker just comes down and puts it in nice little squares. Just one press, boom. I would love to see how they cut up a cleat or a helmet.
Yeah.
Wow.
See where
It'd
where
be
they get-
interesting.
But yeah, that shows, like, I was doing the research after I saw the helmet. There's a lot of different pieces that, they're talking about the Nike logos and the Shield logos. So a lot of specifics, and those let you know sort of what the out of numbers are. But I mean, there's a lot of good inserts and auto variations that we haven't even seen. There's a triple auto. I mean, for me, it was Burrow, Boyd, and Higgins. Like, that's fantastic.
And we're gonna get into the. I'm glad you mentioned that, because the topic that the new incarnation of labeling cards
Yeah.
was actually used with a triple auto of Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah.
See, now that I mean, the triple auto, from what I see, it was like numbered to 5 or less.
Sure.
Like they're super rare out in numbered to 3, numbered to 1.
So I saw one that had Bob Greasy, Dan Marino, Tua.
Oh shit!
Oh my goodness.
Signed,
Just
sealed.
crazy.
Yeah, because
And then the person decided, and I'm loud because I'm passionate about the subject, then decided to put it on auction and then list it 2 other separate times as a buy it now
what
of the same card.
How much?
They wanted
10,000.
So it was up to $505 on auction, and then they
Holy
asked 5,900, I think, or
Yeah,
something
no,
like
there's-
that. And the gentleman or lady that is selling it, they're in Taiwan.
That's sketchy to me.
Now, is there any red flags that pop up with
probably teal flags.
teal? There you go.
It's the
not red,
teals.
but teal, and then you can get more money for them if
Yeah.
they're teal. So
It's if it
if I
color
see a Manny
blends
Pacquiao
together.
card coming out of Taiwan, it's legit.
really,
Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao.
Or Philippines or whatever.
Yeah,
Isn't he
but-
like a mayor somewhere or something?
A what?
A mayor? Like a mayor of
Oh,
a
he's
town?
like a congressman in Pennsylvania.
That's what I meant.
Philippines.
The Philippines.
Yeah.
Right. He's a congressman
Yeah.
in where? Manila?
Philippines. Manila.
Manila.
But I mean, overall, the product, I mean, just the things that we've been able to see that you've ripped on lives, that I've ripped personally. I mean, it is out of all the product I've ripped coming back, it's my favorite. I mean, I don't know, couldn't tell you exactly. The colors, pops, the insert styles, everything about it. It's just, I'm a huge fan, and
And for me, I'm becoming a fan because I'm not big into the chrome and the flashiness of it. But these cars, for some reason, have just sucked me in.
yeah, it's the aesthetics
More so than the
It
chrome.
is that blending, because like Mosaic, the base cards are just silver. So plain. But then with this, they add that little bit of team color, which makes it the background pop a little bit. And then once you get that, like I got a red Tom Brady. I mean, that just really stands out. That jersey, everything blends together. But the colors are fantastic. The patches have been. I got one. I got an AJ Dillon that was a little chunky, but for the most part, they've been sort of your napkin relics when they're jerseys.
I haven't seen a lot of.
There was
color.
a Josh Kelly that was a little chunky.
Yeah, the majority have been pretty napkinish, like single color, piece of the bottom tier of the jersey. But it is a chrome product, I don't know. I mean, I can take it or leave it. I mean, Phoenix looks good. I was impressed with it, like, before I opened the first box. But just like Mosaic, that first run, there were some damage issues.
Oh, yeah.
And so I get nervous every time I unwrap a pack for a customer, waiting to see if, that
big
one
hit.
big card is going to be the one that's got the scratch on it.
Yeah.
So far, it hasn't been too bad. Like, we got the crappiest box of it all, but
And that was box one for the most part. I mean,
it was
right after
it was
that,
literally box one. Most of them have been pretty good.
You
so
literally got the first off the line for.
I
right
did.
there.
So for some reason, I took one for the team.
There you go.
Nice.
You were going to say something.
No,
so.
no. I have something else I have to say.
Okay.
For our producer, and just to let you know that I don't know if she's aware or not, but Luton
Yeah.
is starting this weekend.
No Minshew.
Minshew is on the pine.
See,
Yeah,
but Minshew
I
is
sold out of my Lutons.
He's on the pine due to injury.
injury.
Like,
Yeah, but there was talk early. But that's okay. It doesn't phase her.
hey,
I would never be mean enough to do that.
we got Danucci out there
apologize.
too.
She's a
I
fangirl.
apologize.
It's okay.
Really? You're throwing shade at her
You
Gardner
always think I'm
Minshew,
throwing
but
shade.
you're throwing shade. You wouldn't. There would be no other reason to mention
I
it.
just wanted to let her know.
I wouldn't do that, producer.
The
by the way.
crouton Luton.
So anyway, we're gonna get on to some because believe it or not, there were some other things that came out this week too. Trinity Football, which really is one of my favorites because I love the logos. They are always super chunky. But unfortunately, with Leaf product and Joe Montana Leaf product release, which is brand new this year, and it's a one autographed Joe Montana card. I pulled the 101 earlier. You see that on the screen.
It's beautiful.
But because Leaf product arrives like at the distributor on release day, it's always later for us. But rest assured, we've been approved to be direct with Leaf, and we actually started placing our first orders. So now we get to bypass that process, and it gets to arrive here on release day, not at the distributor, and then we get it 3 days later.
That's nice.
Nice.
And the beauty part is we usually get a box or two. Now we get to buy it by the case.
Oh,
so,
beautiful.
Anyway, so now another product that came out that we were super excited to get was the Fantasy Break Basketball Kit Edition. Now that's a legit product, okay?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, and definitely for your youngsters. I mean, I saw you opened up, got one that had a Ja Morant mosaic.
Rookie, not a debut, but it was a base rookie. Ja Morant came out of it, so it's pretty legit.
That was well worth the box right there. So
it's a good price point, $25. It's one hit plus another little group of cards, but good on Fantasy Break because they are a high-end repack product. Their stuff is typically $300 or more per box.
Crap.
Wow.
And they've really broke it down, and they're going to be coming out with a baseball and football version of their Kid Break products. So we're going to be excited to get that.
Getting them to the kids and not the adults.
Correct.
That's the problem with how good it was. It's like, okay, now that just opens the door for, maybe now the adults are going to start buying this intended for
that is
children.
Always the danger. You run into that
again, you have
potential.
adults who never collected and might want to start.
Yeah. And that's a good crawl product, right?
Yep.
So
they're beginner.
And then, of course, what is coming out this week is pretty dynamic. We got a big boy release, National Treasures Baseball. We got 1920 Clearly Donruss, and that's a whole nother messy subject by itself. We got 2020 Topps Dynasty. Now, we're going to have 2020 Topps Update, both hobby and jumbo release later this week. We got 2020-21 Prism Draft Picks hobby and choice.
Nice.
We have another round of Leaf mini helmets that are releasing later this week, which means we won't get it until next Wednesday. And
still in time for the holidays.
Still in time for the holidays, yes. And then, what am I missing? Am I missing anything else?
No.
I think that's about it. Oh, UFC Signature Series. And then, of course, and it actually releases tomorrow, but through the magic of television, we're going to get into a preview rip of 2020 Star Wars Topps Mandalorian from season 1. So
I know a couple of
and that's going to be coming up. So
a lot of Star Wars fans out there.
How do you feel about
I can't wait.
Mandalorian?
I love it.
First episode was terrible.
All right, so
story.
We're going to preview Mandalorian. I'm going to actually do that right now, but what we're going to do while I'm doing it is we're going to talk about the popularity of Star Wars right now. Star Wars trading cards have always been kind of hot and cold, but I have seen a resurgence of if you got something decent, I'm buying it. It is an arm drag of everything Star Wars.
I think this Mandalorian series sort of rejuvenated or also brought out new fans because I've never watched Star Wars, but I did watch about the first 4 or 5 episodes of The Mandalorian until I fell asleep. So I definitely think it's bringing a new crowd and also bringing back a crowd that maybe had
But you gotta understand,
lost
Star Wars
it.
has a following since the '70s. Since it
Yeah,
came
no,
out.
that's what I'm saying.
And
So
you have, I mean, it's generations.
Tony's passionate about this
It's
subject.
generations of loyal fans.
I got a buddy
I
who's
don't do the
born on May
cosplay.
4th.
I couldn't do any of the. I couldn't be a character. Maybe Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do anybody else. Let alone my favorite Boba Fett. But
Got all
the
the Bobas
following,
up here.
because this is something I can watch with my kids, and you can watch the very first episode that came out back in '76, and you can watch it today. I watched it with my kids, and they were in awe. And you can't tell what year it is. You don't know.
Yeah.
What.
Producer, can you do me a favor? Can you get me
timeless.
a blade for this, please? That would be great.
How about one of those turf and dirt
Get a turf and dirt blade for that.
box cutter?
Thank you
Cutter.
very much. So, but this is going to be a dual purpose because in the industry summit package, we finally received some Beckett Shield soft sleeves. Haven't touched it before, haven't seen the packaging yet. So finally, we've got some Beckett Shield in hand. And if you want to see what it looks like through the magic of television, you will see a larger clip of it. But haven't opened it up. I wanted a complete dry run at sleeving some Mandalorian to compare between Ultra Pro regular sleeves and
This
Beckett
might be
Shield.
a random weird question, but like, what do you think could be improved from an Ultra Pro? Like, what could be a difference?
I mean,
Maybe 1
Thicker?
0.001 millimeters shorter.
to be honest with you, what I would like to see as a shop owner is just the availability be more.
Okay,
I
That
would
makes a
I
whole
would
lot
be
of sense.
fine with
Question
the
answered.
quality being the same.
Yeah,
And even if they charged me 50 cents more per pack, I would be fine with that
As long
if
as
the availability was not allocated.
best ability is availability.
And they are manufactured in
North America.
North America. So
Quote.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open this up. So I'm going to run my video. Okay. I'm going to open this up so you can see the packaging on the video. And through the magic of TV, you're going to see that too.
Is it 100
So I'm going to
count?
give D-Mags a little bit of this. I'm going to give Tony a little bit of this. And then I am going to take a little bit of this. And I can already tell.
Thicker.
I can already tell it is not, I don't know, it just seems not as clear.
It's definitely not as clear, but I
Maybe
think
that's
it's
some sort of protective something coating,
So-
ultraviolet something. In
Through the magic of TV, I also have an Ultra Pro pack with me that I sell. And this is a hobby standard. And this is a standard soft sleeve. Okay. So here's a couple of those to do an on-site comparison. I can already tell right now that the clarity in...
Yeah, there is a clarity difference.
There is a clarity difference. So Beckett Shield is not quite as clear. Now, I don't know if that has to do with a little bit heavier gauge or,
I don't know.
you know,
Well, Ultra Pro has been in the game longer,
they have been.
so they probably know what they're doing.
They do. They do. So here we go. Let's go ahead. We're going to open up this. Okay. We're going to use Beckett Shield. Now, this is not to throw off anything about Beckett Shield, right? I am excited to have their product because the availability, as they put it, will be...
Ultra Pro seems to be the one that I have in my hand seems to be a little bit bigger,
With
wider. Yeah.
So the Mandalorian Tops product come in this nice, beautiful little tin. So like if you got cookies you want to bake or Jello. So this is kind of interesting.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So there are 2, 4, 6, 7 packs jammed into the middle of this Mandalorian head. And it's even textured on one side. Now, I do not know if this contains any hits.
You saw it here first.
Any hits or misses or anything like that. But we're going to get a look at it here real quick.
I bet you Turf and Dirt's the first to rip Mandalorian.
Even the packs.
Anyway.
are
So
pretty
Turf
sweet.
and Dirt is leading edge technology with sports cards. I don't know if you've clued into that yet.
Leading edge technology.
Leading edge everything sports
like our
cards.
speakers, our
Exactly.
headphones are
Check,
quality.
check.
So we have the little green button pusher card. We got Drawing a Crowd. Back in Business. We've got The Village Sanctuary. Pursuit and Escape. Pure Firepower. There we go, a little bit. Ambien Rifle. Tools of the Bounty Hunter.
Nice.
And then we get finally a colored parallel. It is not numbered. Checking in with Grief. What's his name? Karga? Mm-hmm. Grief Karga.
So it's just a cardboard stock, your base.
AKA Apollo Creed.
It is. And his real name is?
Mr. Carruthers.
Yeah. Carl Weathers, you mean?
I mean, Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Did I say that? Carl Weathers? Carl Weathers?
Carruthers, Carl Weathers. It doesn't matter. Pack number 2. We got a blue. I don't know if there is any hits in this. It would be nice if there was. That was from Trouble for the Mithril. Bounty Bait. A little upside down action. So they literally have taken scenes from the movie, and this was towards the end of the first season, An Uncertain Negotiation. And then what do we got here? We got characters, Berg. And then we got Discovering Toro's Change of Plan. And so that one is also not numbered, but it is a colored parallel.
Interesting to have color. Still no number to it.
It seems to be the trend for sports cards today to see a lot of color.
Who's putting these out?
Tops.
What was the price point on these?
That is a good question. What is the price point, producer?
$1 million. What's the bounty on it?
If you want to pay me $1 million for this, you know what? I would be happy to let that transaction happen.
We need that.
I wonder who the bounty of the month is.
That's hockey people still.
Nice.
Characters, Fennec Shad. And then we got another blue, The Fight Is On. So I know for some of you that aren't necessarily Star Wars fans, you're probably going, all right, enough, but too bad.
It's all gibberish.
Because I'm a Star Wars fan, so you're going to have to limp
So what
through
sleeves
it.
I need that Baby Yoda off the wall.
So I have used Beckett Shield sleeves in order to sleeve these. Now they are easy going on, which is good. The clarity is going to be, it's going to be harder to distinguish.
I didn't notice. I just put one on a card and put side by side, and I didn't notice a difference once it was on.
That's another different character card there. And then we got another blue. The Mandalorian Foundling. So that is the kid. So here's a Beckett Shield sleeve. Now the one thing I do notice is they are not as slick. So it catches in my fingers a little bit more. If that makes sense. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we got a couple more packs left. We're doing this as kind of a quick preview. So we'll get through the base here fairly quick. Of course, they can't still figure out how to put cards one way, which seems to be an epidemic amongst
card companies.
Another Grief card.
I wonder why they do that.
Karga.
Because they like to give you some Dramamine.
There should be one auto or sketch card per box.
One auto per box.
One parallel.
Are you sure?
Per pack. This is a hobby, right?
I'm hoping so. One auto per box, huh?
And it should be $130.
Holy buckets.
130.
Well, let's see if we get the auto.
I want the Baby Yoda auto. That's the only thing I can.
There's a concept art card. Does that count? It's just a card, though. So we are down to the final pack and no hit. So that will be a fun experiment if we do a preview box that's supposed to contain one hit and it doesn't have it.
That never happens, right?
That will be a great way to segue into,
or as they call it, a surprise.
Other crap. So.
Got him.
Okay, there's something in here.
Uh-oh.
All right. So there's going to be some exciting end to this. And it's not the upside downness.
Part of Boba card. Fett's helmet.
It is a sketch card. Ooh, it's a legitimate sketch card, too. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
You've just received a sketch card featuring art by... Of course, I can't. But it's a Mandalorian helmet, which is outstanding. So that is super sick. And it's legitimate. Like, feel that.
What is that?
Is that an autograph?
It's kind of like... It's kind of like the card stock that the artist would,
Like a
sketch
sketch
it on.
card.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like a sketch card.
No.
Oh, okay.
What's the name on the back?
Can you
I can't.
can you pronounce it?
It looks backwards.
Let me sleeve the blue.
That is Rodney Rupert.
Rodney Rupert, huh?
And he does
Did you
it
feel
like,
that?
and he does it like he signs it like Card Connection.
I mean, it's legitimately
Kards Korner.
painted.
That's why I said it's backward.
Yeah, like Cards Corner.
Yeah, no, that's a
One backwards, one forward.
You think Kards Korner is backwards?
little bit
Really?
sideways.
A little sideways. All right. So, and the nice part about it is you got a tin
That you can throw them all back in.
that you can, give to the kids, re-gift to your mother-in-law or father-in-law or sister-in-law if they're fans.
Put some Star Wars cookies in there.
Well, there we go. Are you going to do some Yoda cookies?
Yoda Gene.
Yoda Gene might be jealous. So we got to preview a little bit of Beckett Shield. I'm tell you, I'm gonna save judgment right now until I can get a more bigger cross section. But I'm gonna use these tomorrow during personals, and we're gonna see if they hold up. They hold up to the turf and dirt speculation. So. All right, so that is it. You get one sketch card or autograph. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. All right, so Mandalorian rip is over. We got a chance to play with some sleeves and all that good stuff. And now we kind of touch on, today is November 3rd. What is November 3rd, people?
Trade deadline.
Election Day.
Election Day. So one of the items that came in the industry summit stuff was a product made by, it's called sportscards.com, and they were responsible for the Ty Cobb cut letter boxes.
The word what?
Correct. And so they had a couple of boxes that had cut signature or cut handwritten words or potentially autographs of presidents. Each box contains, and there's 10 boxes per case. Each box has one presidential relic card with an authentic handwritten word or autograph. Guaranteed in every case, one or more. A word from George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, or an authentic autograph. Now, as a history guy, if I would have gotten a Abraham Lincoln cut signature, that would be party time, because that would be a cool piece. Now, I decided to sample it, and in it came a written word of Ronald Reagan, who's considered one of our greatest presidents, right? Mm-hmm. And
my favorite.
He apparently, Beckett authenticated the letters, and this is the word that was embedded in it. So obviously I did not get the cut autograph, but I thought, since it is, November 3rd, trade deadline, or as others affectionately call it,
Election Day.
Doomsday. Does that say eggs?
It says eggs, yeah. We're going to go ahead and rip into and see what we get.
Ronald Reagan liked eggs.
Now, the nice part about these boxes is they are legit boxes.
They're almost like a old DVD or a VHS tape box.
You kind of feel that way, but they come with a nice little card on the back.
Player.
Coming late 2020, a word from the President of the United States, authentic handwritten word or signature. So that is a card that is on the back of it. The boxes are magnetic.
Oh, nice.
It is another Ronald Reagan, which is not bad.
Scramble?
Potato.
This is away. The word away. So these two boneheads laugh at this, but I actually think it's pretty cool.
I think it's really cool.
So this is going to go into my personal collection. We're going to display it. The box is absolutely outstanding. I mean, good on sportscards.com. I mean, you don't see boxes. The closest one to this is, I think, Leaf. Leaf has a pretty good box. The rest of the boxes are fairly flimsy, but this one could handle a a forklift drive over.
What was the one that you had recently? The orange box that was. It was the college football.
Yeah.
The National Treasures Collegiate.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous box.
The cigar box.
Humidor box.
So I don't know if you want to. It's a nice, sturdy
nice.
action.
And if you're a history buff,
I'm all about it, man.
all about it.
So it actually might be a product I try to get for the shop. Put a couple boxes up on the shelf, and hey, if you're a history guy, let's go.
What's the price
holiday is coming?
What's the price on these?
I have no idea. This was just purely a gift from sportscards.com. So
I gotcha.
We appreciate that. All right, so we've kind of done our due diligence. We've touched Mandalorian, which just released. We've touched the presidential election stuff. Now we're going to get down to some nitty-gritty. My First Break, sponsored by Turf and Dirt and Ultra Pro. So Turf and Dirt and Ultra Pro are teaming up to provide a program. This is going to happen in December. December 13th is the day of... What should we call it? Not the day of doom, but the day of emergence, or a day of birth for our young breakers in our community.
Now it's just getting the kids in the door. I mean, I think there's a lot of kids out there who, I know for my kids, when they start collecting, getting into the cards, then watching the games, they recognize the players a lot more, and so it gets them excited about the sport even more. So I think it's great for kids to just at least try it out. I mean, good way to break it in.
Sure.
Well, I've been in the shop already when he's mentioned it, and there's kids already signed up.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're what, 5 or so deep. Yeah. We're only taking 25. Ultra Pros capped us at 25 kids. So the thing that's interesting is, My First Break. There's going to be some argument as to whether the children really are the future of sports cards or not. And the argument I can see, the 15-year-olds right now are kind of the key. But, the kids that are 9, 10, 8, these kids in 10, 15 years, they're going to have the disposable income. And if they have a good experience as a kid, they're going to continue on with the breaking and the buying of sports cards. And they really have a chance to foster a good relationship with sports cards early. Mm-hmm. And so much is about money today that my hat's off to Ultra Pro when they decided that they wanted to team up with Turf and Dirt to do this. And Ultra Pro absorbs the entire cost of this.
That's amazing.
And if they do not get enough donations from distributors, which if you're a distributor and you do not donate product for this, shame on you. They're going to actually buy out of their own pocket the product to put in the My First Break boxes.
What's the full breakdown that they get?
You're going to get
a box.
A box is going to have a breaking mat. You're going to have some Ultra Pro supplies. There's going to be some Ultra Pro swag. And there's going to be a box of cards of some sort to actually break. So you get to put your breaking mat down, get to do the whole experience, right?
Yeah.
I mean...
Now, are they choosing just sports, or are there going to be entertainment cards in there?
It's going to be sports.
Sports related.
And it's not going to be, because it's a free product, we're not going to be taking, I can only touch basketball. It's like you have to accept the free product regardless of sport.
Soccer and hockey.
Right.
Don't be choosy.
So, but we're flattered by it because Ultra Pro's only rolled it out. We're going to be the third shop to have done it. We're the first one coming out of COVID. And
yeah, that's awesome.
They could choose any shop in the country. There are shops much bigger than us, but they've decided to team up with us.
Not better.
So that's, I said bigger, but not better, right? So we're super excited. So how it's going to work is it's a Sunday, right, producer? And so what's going to happen is we're going to take time slots because of COVID. We've got to socially distance.
Yep.
Is it 5 kids per time slot-ish? So I think we can fit about 5 socially distanced responsibly per session. We're going to space them out throughout the day. Ultra Pro is sending a bunch of, decor, and I believe they're flying somebody in, if I remember correctly, to be here for the event to take pictures
that's a big deal.
And do the whole thing. So it's going to be super cool. So we're taking signups at Turf and Dirt. If you're hearing this podcast and you're interested, contact the shop. Contact information will be popping up on the screen through the magic of YouTube and television.
Is there an age limit? What are they?
My 5-year-old.
I don't think there's been an age limit, but if you're 18, most likely that's not going to fly.
It's not a kid.
What age limit do you think we're like 13, 14? Middle school and below. Okay. Well, I'm not a middle school teacher,
but
dirt, or
is that
like 15. 15's.
Ultra Pro hasn't said if there's a limit or there's a criteria for it. They are sending us, flyers that we can hand out to the parents. They're sending us signage to put up leading up to it, but they needed at least a good month and a half to 2 months of advertising before it goes down. That was kind of their requirement.
So follow us on any of our social media to
keep
Kards Korner, Turf and Dirt, all of the above. That is going to be exactly social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of that good stuff. So we're super excited about it. Now here's an interesting thing. We're going to kind of shift gears a little bit because we're kind of dancing around some subjects, but this kind of came up late, and I wanted to get you guys to weigh in on this. So last year when we opened up Turf and Dirt, we actually carried a bunch of WNBA product coming into the opening. Mm-hmm. And the WNBA product was like a murder hornet to people. They would look at it as long as it was in glass, that it couldn't sting them. It was a neat thing to see, but nobody cared, right? So I ended up having to take a loss to move product just to get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
And so when pre-orders came up, it was a big discussion of we're not going to invest because we lost bad. And then out of the blue, due to the popularity of Prism basketball, we were getting bombarded with WNBA Prism requests.
That's insane.
Now,
maybe it's because our team is the champs.
Stormers.
I don't know. I wanted you guys to weigh in to think, is this kind of thing, is it a legitimate, I'm a fan of WNBA? Is this it's a carryover? Is I can't afford the Prism hobby of the NBA, so I'm going to transfer that to the WNBA? And if that's the case, does that hurt the hobby? Does it help the hobby? Does it hurt WNBA? Does it help it? Does it hurt the NBA or does it help the NBA? I mean, what is your opinion?
I don't think it hurts the NBA. It's just like everything else. I think if people are asking you for it, they dip into it, out of just curiosity because it's Prism, and maybe it does foster, some new interest in the card world, and they venture off into NBA as well. And I think there are a lot of women collectors out there too that want to see, get that respect and see some WNBA quality product out there.
Be careful though, producer's sensitive about this subject.
You got to understand, in my opinion, first of all, the NBA supports everything the WNBA does.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The players respect them, all that good stuff.
Do they really though?
I think so.
Yeah, really? I think that there's.
I think so. Number one. Number two.
Do they respect them enough to lobby on behalf of the WNBA players? Salaries need to be getting closer to what NBA players are making?
Well, they would need to have the support that the NBA has in order to create that money. That money is not coming out of because you're putting in 5,000 people in an arena when NBA teams are putting in 22,000.
Except for this year.
It doesn't, regardless.
The jersey sales.
Would you wear a Seattle Storm jersey?
I would.
No.
I would definitely.
Like a Sue Bird, number 10, shooting trays all day?
Yep. And just think of the generation.
I know what I'm getting Tony for Christmas.
All these little girls and boys, but mostly these little girls that are coming up that were, let's say, when the whole U.S. women's soccer craze was going on. How many little girls follow that? Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, no, I think it's big,
especially, and it's just another way in for these children to kind of, they're not looking at they're not. These kids are innocent. These kids are just they got that innocent mindset. They're looking at this as this is just my hero.
So is it a false assumption to have where you're going, okay, if you're a woman that is trying to collect you got to stick to your WNBA?
No, I think that's asinine.
Because in the industry summit, okay, there was a shop only forum that went on. And this gentleman who was, been in the business 25 years, owned a shop for 25 years, he said to everybody, which caught huge amount of fire, huge amount, said, all you women out there, we're going to be stocking WNBA. You need to go and collect that because that's what you guys, like. And even Stacy, who doesn't collect sports cards necessarily, was bent about it.
Yeah, it's a little sexist comment. I mean,
and
for sure.
All of a sudden, the owner of, and I'm gonna just say it because Leighton Sports Cards is owned by husband and wife. I don't know if you know Leighton.
I do not.
They're a big breaker, own a sports card shop. So she started the Facebook only page, right, of women in sports cards. She started a Facebook only group. And that subject matter caught fire. It was like, BS, I collect Mosaic football.
I mean, yeah,
they don't make that in women's size, that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah.
And this guy just got hammered.
The guys that are collecting, the people that are collecting, NASCAR cards, which are probably popular somewhere, I mean, what do you do with your Danica, Patrick card? Toss it? That's the first card I want. And I bet you that's probably the big hit in that.
So I have to tell you, I mean, I've looked at the get-ups of WNBA Prism. It looks just as good as NBA Prism. I mean, it's a great product.
I don't see
the
why
format
it would
is the same.
Look any different.
Watch a game, go to a game, then decide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you put your 2 cents in.
Sure.
But don't be blind and just like...
I mean, to say WNBA is not worth collecting is like me saying hockey's not worth collecting. I mean, to each their own.
Back in the day...
he did that on purpose, right?
To each their own.
Back in the day, was it like, oh, I'm not collecting NFL. I'm just collecting AFL football cards.
Yeah.
Because my heroes are in the AFL.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
I mean...
Sure. That's good. I mean, it's,
I'm pretty sure it's more popular than...
It's a polarizing subject because women in the sports card industry, they are a discriminated class. I mean, we see it all the time. Like, and Stacy's very sensitive to it.
It's the assumption of you don't know
She
anything.
wants people to deal with her the same that they deal with me. And there are people that refuse to, whether it's a sexist thing or just a comfortability thing, we don't know. But it's a real legit problem in the sports card industry when, because I do believe there's this myth or this, misconception that women aren't as knowledgeable in the sports card world. Now, granted, that might be the case due to the fact that, sports cards is not a thing that a 10-year-old girl is laying in the pasture and dreaming of owning a sports card shop. But, Stacy's been at it. I mean, she's been here at Turf and Dirt, from day one, and her knowledge is, I mean, not as much as mine because I live it every day, but it's pretty damn good. Like,
you respect her opinion.
Anybody that comes through the door shouldn't have a problem dealing with her.
No.
Don't try to pull one over on her either.
No. So.
And I look at it this way. I think the WNBA and these cards that are coming out, I mean, it's more popular. You don't see cards for the, the U.S. Soccer League. What's it called? I can't even tell
MLS.
you. MLS.
Major League Soccer. Actually, you do.
Are there MLS cards out there?
They're actually, and we're getting a release of them next week.
You?
So,
but a lot of these guys that come from Europe that you'll find in these cards
Sure.
are already, when Beckham came over, he was already 50. It's like,
and married to a 22-year-old.
Exactly. But you see these cards in WNBA. I think it's a good thing.
Sure.
I'm all for the girls.
Maybe good quality card product will, I know it sounds crazy, but maybe it will help spike the interest for young fans to then start going to games.
Definitely.
And maybe it then starts to fill the arenas, and then now their sales
After
go
COVID,
up, and then
that's the
everything
hope.
starts
Absolutely.
increasing. So, I mean,
absolutely.
And you want to hope for that because what? You don't support them. They go away. One less sports team in Seattle.
Yep.
Come on.
yeah, no, we still
And
need
they're
an
the only
NBA
ones
team.
in Key Arena right now.
Exactly.
So after
Exactly.
that, Key Arena, they take a wrecking ball to it. So
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that would be
and that's not a good
Miley
thing. So,
Cyrus coming straight
But
through.
you got to make room for the Kraken.
yeah, but they're playing in their own arena.
Yes.
So anyway, that was just kind of a last minute topic kind of insertion into the show. Now this is okay. The next topic is interesting because we've talked about in previous episodes on online listings, right? Mislabeling cards,
falsifying
to pump up a card to get more out of it, right? We've covered that topic. SSSSP and
eBay one of
eBay one of 94 and So we discovered a new one that is starting to trend. And it began to trend on Instagram, but the trend is talking about colors of the parallel matching the jersey color of the team results in a higher value of the card.
And see, I'm torn now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. Higher value, you might get me, to be honest. If you pull me a Burrow orange parallel, I'm probably going to fork up a little bit more money than before if you pull me the red parallel or the blue parallel.
And that is the difference between a collector mindset and a business mindset of sports cards. As a collector, sure, you would pay that extra because it is appealing to you, not on the business. Because on the business side, you're going to pay extra for that, and that's going to take away your ripability for a month.
Yeah,
so
no, for
you're
sure.
You're gonna take the color matching card over, let's say, a regular colored card that's numbered.
Well,
the same
all
card?
the color will be numbered of some sort. So like,
Not necessarily.
well, okay, well,
in Phoenix, if you're
Phoenix
talking
or
about Phoenix, yes.
even Prism or Mosaic, I guess, unless it's like the retail, those aren't colored is not numbered in retail, but still, like, I'm more leaning towards if you get me, because like in retail there was the orange. It was to 25.
Is there an emergency?
Mosaic. No. And if I could pull a Burrow out of that or a Higgins, give me something like that, that's definitely what I'm, striving for. But so I could see it to a certain extent, but I think mislabeling it as like a short print or rare, I think is the trick there.
For me, I think I'm happy with a rookie card.
So let me ask you a question. So there was another kind of what I considered mislabeling that I also saw when I was researching this part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And and this happened in Absolute, when you have like the tools of the trade and it's got the different, and there was a piece of football that the laces were removed. And in the listing, he asked for like another $50 extra by calling it a laced relic. It's a laced
Well, isn't that
RPA.
part of the description? You're trying to describe it to the best of your
Laced
ability?
is never a description that you would use in the listing.
So he was embellishing.
Correct.
Is
You're
it wrong-
taking a
is something
feature
wrong?
like that would be the equivalent of if you had a relic card and there was a string, you'd go stringed up.
So you mean to tell me you're against, how when you post on eBay and you post your card, you can have highlights, you can pay extra for highlights or whatever, neon little whatever around it.
If you're dumb enough to pay that.
The bells and whistles of
Right.
listings.
Because I've never paid for those.
It's part of that, but I mean,
it's different by having something flashing.
Yeah, but just
that
to
says,
exaggerate.
That says, look at me, look at me. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're dumb enough to pay that, go ahead, do it.
But to each his own.
But if you're putting extra verbiage in the title, that's an issue for me.
But it's even like, 3-color, 4-color. Would you pay more for a 4-color patch than a 3-color patch?
I would not.
But then why do people
It would be
put
the same
4 colors?
It would be the same as a napkin relic.
Really?
In the industry, they don't recognize the two.
I just look at it kind of like what I've learned from you a little bit on when you're looking up, when you're comping cards.
Yeah.
Let's say you go to Beckett, and you just copy what it is.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
But nobody's
it has
doing
no
that.
more, no less.
Correct.
No, I mean,
some are. We are, but
like I said,
but you're a card shop. I'd say
correct.
A good majority of the people out there who are
breakers.
They're breakers.
But-
they're hustling and they're trying to get more.
But before I was a card shop, I was selling out of my house. Like before I was even with the other shop that was in town, I subscribed to Beckett and was still copying and pasting listing titles. I was paying for that.
Yeah.
So
I think it keeps you from getting any negative feedback once a consumer buys that card.
You're not
that card.
You're not mislabeling.
Well, because I mean, if you sat here right now and outed the said person, that maybe gives that person some flack, and there goes their sales, or there goes their following.
I would hope that collectors would catch on to it and do it themselves. I mean, I don't see myself as a sword swinging, crusader in the card world. I mean,
Knights Templar.
But because this is a time frame where there is so many people coming back into the hobby, I feel like there is a lot of uneducated blind.
There is, but I think we're lost at this point. Like I look at the amount of people that have bought into the negative way of doing it, it's almost the mountain is too big to climb.
Yeah.
You would be burying yourself by trying to super educate. Now, I still do educate people when they come into the shop, but I am not going to put myself out and start a live and go, look at me, gather round. I am about to tell you Now, the difference in listings before somebody goes, well, so in Beckett, they distinguish a prime patch from a normal patch.
How do they do that?
They don't. It's basically a guess. But usually when you see in the Beckett listing it say prime, most of the time it's chunky. But when you look at the pricing difference in Beckett, there's no difference in price, just in description. Now on eBay,
there's a huge difference.
They take prime out and they go 4-color, short print, PSA 10 ?
But I think those e-commerce,
how do you look at it?
I think these companies, they want you. I mean, when you look up eBay, hey, what's the best way to sell? And you look at the little frequently asked questions, to do's and not. They want you to give as much information as possible. Put as much verbiage into that as possible.
But there's facts, and then there's
are you talking about making up verbiage just for the sake of filling out your characters or
whatever? I mean, if it isn't what it says at, let's say, Beckett or any Card Connection or anything says, if you're throwing other words in there, I mean, it is what it is.
Okay, so let me clarify.
I think it's on the buyer.
Real quick. So if I had I had a Tom Brady mosaic, okay, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, okay, and I put on there that it's an SP and it is his Buccaneers rookie PSA 10 ? You would be okay with that selling for $50 when the guy who then lists it right behind, who then does it strictly by Beckett, that just says 2020 Mosaic number 4 Tom Brady, and he gets $10. Is that all right?
I think, like Devin said,
you fault the buyers.
You fault the buyers.
Okay.
You fault the buyers.
It's like people, flocking to and buying the secondhand retail. How that's hurting the hobby. Well, it's these people who are continuing to buy the mislabeled eBay product. It's their fault. They're continuing.
And we're talking mislabeling. We're not talking they're lying about the card, what the card is.
They're falsifying or
when you say
exaggerating.
A card is an SP and it isn't, to me that's lying.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're uneducated, that's one thing. But when you see their feedback rating of 3,000 and they're calling something an SP that isn't, or calling a base card an insert, I think close your ears, you're a shitbag and you're lying just to sell the card, to get more money.
Once again, it's like Devin says, it's on the
buyer. Yeah, I mean, because they're influencing the market. They're seeing that, and they're not even blinking an eye at it, and they're buying it. That's
especially if you're bidding. It's like
you know what the scary part is you're correct. Everything you said is absolutely true, and that will lead to the collapse of this industry. It will absolutely lead to the industry demise. We are at the infancy of this problem, but if there isn't a correction in the flow of the river here, and right now it's almost out of control. Like everywhere I see some really bad mislabeling.
I think that's why I haven't been able to sell. I sell maybe 2 cards a week.
Maybe you need to SSSP something up.
And that's what I don't.
Or
and
you know what? Call them out on it. Like can you go in there and write a comment, a negative review?
You can. So I will occasionally do this, right? When I feel kind of like I'm on a crusade, right? I sometimes, because it upsets me, right? Sure. Because I love this hobby.
Well, yeah.
And I look at it as a business, but I also have a collector heart. And I know as a collector, this hobby cannot suffer another collapse. Another collapse, sports cards are done. Because there's going to be no trust in anything, right? I mean, so...
But did it collapse once already?
It did.
And it rose from the ashes like the phoenix.
It did, but we're under different circumstances today. Like
circumstances won't be different later. If it happened again.
I can make be different tomorrow.
Well, I can make the argument all day, but that's another episode. So the whole thing for me is like I'll sometimes just for humor, right? I will go and go, okay, I have a stack of 1989 Fleer Ken Griffey Juniors, right? And so I will go, okay, 1989 Fleer Ken Griffey Jr. Search. Pulls up all the listings. I then sort it from highest to lowest. And like most people do, boom, 89 Fleer pops up, SSP, super rare, $1,500. Okay. So I'll contact seller. I'll ask him, I say, I have a stack of 50 of these in my case. What makes yours more SSP than mine? And I right now can only sell them for about $8. And you know what happens? And I've done this a dozen times.
Deleted.
What happens is ghost. No message, nothing. 12 straight times I've sent messages to different people. Won't respond to nothing. I've done it for mislabeling SPs. I've done it for mislabeling Ken Griffey Jr. as super rare. I did it once today for the color for Phoenix.
Yeah.
To the group that I'm talking about, and no response, nothing. And to me, that tells me that they know better.
Yeah.
Because they're getting the message.
Oh, yeah.
They're reading it. But if they're not going to respond to me, that tells me that they're doing nefarious stuff and they know that.
They got tail between the legs.
And they're not going to say it because they're going to hope that I'm going to forget about it. Most people are going to ignore it, and they're going to continue to be able to make their extra $3 or whatever stupid money.
Cha-ching.
And yeah, and then but the scary part is when their shit can't sell, right? And I did say it, and I don't care because I'm getting heated now. When they can't sell, they're going to find their local card shop to try to peddle the crap to. And then they're going to come in and they're going to sell it to the card shop owner as being this wonderful item worth so much money. And the card shop owner looks at it and goes, really? Are you kidding me? I'll give you $1 for it. And they go, oh, I'm so offended, right?
Yeah.
That's like saying their Ford Pinto, they put a Mercedes hood emblem on it. And when you say, isn't that a Ford Pinto? Don't say that. It's a Mercedes. Didn't you see the emblem? It's like, really?
I've seen Ferrari on a Fiero.
So this is a subject I'm passionate about because at the end of the
Rightfully
day,
so.
it's going to mess up this hobby.
Yeah. And this
Right?
hobby is your livelihood. I mean,
It is, but it isn't. I mean, I make money. The shop needs to survive. But at the end of the day, the health of the hobby is what makes the shop survive.
yeah.
Not the amount of money, the most money I can put in my pocket. Right now, I could be 6 figures cash in my pocket if I chose to do the wrong things in the shop. Believe it or not, I could be worth 3 times more money than I currently am if I did it crooked, if I did it like these people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Integrity.
is money that big of is that much of a deciding factor? Like,
To
for
a
some
lot of
people it
in the
is,
hobby
so-
right now, it is.
do I like...
They're unsure of what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
They're going to grab and run with what they got.
It is. So, it's a subject that I'm
unfortunate, but
passionate
that's-
about,
yeah.
and I always will be. And if, you're one of these guys and come into the shop, don't try to quick talk me. It's not going to work. Most likely I'm going to kick your ass out because there's no room for you here. Just be honest. If people want the card, they're going to buy it. The end
Plain and
result
simple.
is if you lie about a card and they get it, feedback is everything.
Yep.
Right? So some people, eBay has positioned themselves where you can't even leave negative feedback hardly. So people will do in the positive and go, they'll just do like, this person's a crooked seller and it's a positive feedback. It's green, but it's negative.
Neutral.
Right. Well, so like if you're a top rated seller, you have to wait 9 days or something stupid before you can leave a negative review.
Interesting.
And
That's
it's
good.
like, okay, why is 9 days? Because apparently you have to think about it. Right? You have to evaluate it because eBay apparently gets extra money for more top sellers that have less negative. I don't know, but I find that all the time when I buy something from, because I pre-ordered some custom Bellingham Mariner Griffey jerseys.
Okay.
Supposed to be 4 weeks, ship them out. Over 7 weeks goes by. I contacted, dude, what's up? Like, I'm supposed to have tracking, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Oh man, my supplier forgot, blah, 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 right? So I go to the feedback, and it says, before you leave negative feedback, you got to wait 9 days after it shows delivered.
Oh, God.
I'm like, well, why 9 days?
And that's
like,
eBay saying it?
That's
or
eBay.
Or the seller?
No,
Because the
eBay is doing
because
it.
usually the seller's saying, listen, if you got any negative feedback,
Right.
contact me.
Let's work it out first.
Contact me, and
right.
then before
Yeah.
you know, this, and that.
So anyway, I think it's a loaded
Bag
system.
of shit.
It is.
Whoa.
I mean, Tony dropped it, but if Tony's dropping it, it's a real bag of do. So
Bag of
So
doom.
the only advice I can give at this point is be honest with your listings. If it's a 3-color patch, say it's a 3-color patch.
But don't say it's a rare 3-color
But don't
patch.
charge $50 extra because it's a 3-color patch. And then if you can't get it, then tell everybody it's an SP or, PSA 10 ?
That Joe Montana is a super rare card.
Well, it is one of one. So
It is a one
okay.
of one.
It's
There you
effing rare.
See how smart I
So
am?
when I list that and I put super rare, because I'll put SP, because it doesn't get much more SSP than a one of one, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, just that in itself, I think, one of one.
All right, so enough of that. We're gonna have some fun now.
Hey, how about this? Congratulations to your boy Evan White.
I know, won Gold Glove.
How about this? Did you know also that that J.P. Crawford won Gold Glove for shortstop?
I did not.
It's
Sweet
all out
on
right
that.
there if you want to kind of see some.
Let me take a look at that.
Some of the players that are on there.
All right,
Two
Roberto Perez.
Oh, Cleveland's catcher.
Yep, catcher. First baseman, Evan White. So all of you guys that were giving me crap about Evan White, eat it.
Hey, you got to perform some side.
Cesar Hernandez.
I know who Evan White is now.
J.P. Crawford. Isaiah Kiner Falafa.
Oh, there
That's
we
my
go.
favorite name.
I love
Texas.
falafels.
And he came up as a catcher and is
Yep.
now a third baseman.
Texas.
Alex Gordon,
There we go.
legit.
Hey, he's retiring.
Luis Robert, center field, Gold
Oh.
Glove.
Cuban.
Joey Gallo, and then pitcher Griffin Canning of the Angels
There we
for the
go.
American League One pitcher.
But that's
Gold
pretty
Glove.
cool for Alex Gordon to
So
get
will some
on
of
his
these
way
players'
out.
cards value go up?
No.
No.
So Golden Glove does nothing.
No.
So Gold Glove
Silver
is a
Slugger,
novelty, but
MVP, maybe. Rookie of the Year, maybe.
Just wanted to throw that in there. Just
I mean, it like Kyle Lewis is going to win Rookie of the Year if he
That's
hasn't
10.
already.
It should be
so-
Cronenworth and Kyle Lewis.
Who's
I beg to
Cronenworth?
differ. Some guy on the Padres that I think
The
Baum,
two-bagger.
Baum is better.
Fernando Tatis.
No, Baum.
Oh.
Well.
Baum.
He should be a
See,
re-rookie.
he's calling the own guy from the Phillies the bum. You said bum?
No, I said the bum is the other guy.
Oh, the bum?
Cronenworth. He didn't bat like Baum.
So
Oh.
congratulations, Evan White. Here is a permanent
JP Morgan.
invite. If you ever would like to be a guest, we would host
there you
you
go.
on Cards Corner any day of the week, twice
will-
on Sunday.
We will make you some coffee.
I will pick you up in Evan from the airport, and I will have you, Evan, ride in Evan on the way to Turf and Dirt to look at your Evan White shrine in the shop.
That just sounds weird.
God knows we have enough of your stuff here.
Yeah. We probably have all of his stuff here.
That's right. Cleats, jerseys, cards, you name it.
Pictures
And if
with
you
Jimmy.
say a bad word about Evan, I will take a baseball bat to you and your Ford Pinto with the Mercedes hood emblem.
I am now a believer.
All right. So sports world has gotten a little nutty
It's
recently.
always nutty.
No. But there was some serious weirdness going on. Okay. Number one, we're kissing and hugging, no mask. We've already talked about that. We're not going to cover that again. What is up with Missouri and Florida? Like,
I did not
that
see
wasn't
this.
not just a bench clearing, but that was a bench clearing.
For the
Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I didn't see
Where
it.
the coach is getting his licks in.
I know, but did you see like going to the tunnel? Shouldn't he be suspended?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So he could pick up a bench, hit a player with it, and you're all right with that.
No. I don't mean something like that.
But it was nasty. One of the nastiest. And I'm talking, it wasn't just one or two players swinging. It was 18 players, and they're all swinging.
Hey, if you're
Swinging,
gonna
stomping,
swing
Is
big.
that, is that any different than back in the day when Ohio State's coach, tackled the guy running down the sideline?
We were less sophisticated back then.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We're a more sophisticated COVID society today.
Yeah.
So
that's false.
it just struck me as interesting because during COVID, right, we're no masks, and then the coaches are pulling masks down to yell at players, and we're in close contact, right? So I'm like, So if somebody's got COVID, that's a big issue.
Oh, if you have COVID, you shouldn't have been there to begin with, Justin Turner.
But there's other issues. There's one issue that I just thought about right now that upset me with the Buccaneers beating my Giants yesterday. So the offensive player dropped his helmet and then faked like he was going to keep running. And the defensive player got penalized for it. For the helmet to helmet.
Oh, okay. For the helmet, yeah.
Remember that?
I saw that. Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
It was like.
And they said he was, as the announcers were saying, that he was more trying to brace himself from the impact more so than actually trying to initiate contact with his helmet.
Does the NFL not see this? I mean, offensive players are okay to hit helmet to helmet.
No, they're 100% not supposed to. I have.
But can they hit bat to helmet? I mean, if a player came off the bench with a bat and just.
That's allowed.
You guys aren't following. You guys aren't flowing with me on that one.
You lost me at bat. And
okay. So I mean that's fine and dandy, but what was up with Javon Wims? Like, what is his deal?
So I heard something about he got poked in the eye or something.
I heard that,
and he was retaliating.
Did you see the thing? Did you see? Like, he didn't retaliate. He walked up, announced his presence, and then threw a haymaker.
Yeah, well,
but I heard that the Saint player spit on him.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, I heard that too. But the announcers, he sack tapped him. Guy's probably got a jock strap on, and then you punch a guy in the helmet.
What's a sack tap? Can we have a play-by-play? Can you diagram
that's what it? I mean, he walked up, and the guy who's being hit sort of looks at him like, "Dude, you're hitting me in the helmet." I'm like, break your hand.
And then he takes the haymaker swing, and then who was the Saints player that decided to like spread eagle jump? Like he was full on to upended.
I thought you mean to pull him away.
No, he was like trying to like you're attacking my teammate. Here
I thought it was the Jackrabbit. I think it was Janoris Jenkins. Who came in there.
He went up and legs went apart, and he ass over tea kettle.
Yeah,
went over there. I mean, it was crazy. Like,
these are trying times, man.
It is. Like, is COVID really like
stresses
freaking people out?
Has gotten,
I don't know.
Do you think they didn't trick or treat?
Well, I heard some people who didn't trick or treat, and you know what? This was probably the best year for trick or treating for my kids because there was less people out and a shit ton of candy.
I was disappointed. I mean, we ended up. We went to. Oh, good lord!
You went to the steakhouse.
We went to the steakhouse and the casino. You want to talk about freak
what
show?
Casino?
Silver Reef.
Silver Beef.
I mean, you want to talk about free, and then the funny, and this is going to be another podcast episode one time, is the hierarchy of freakness in Silver Reef Casino.
Well,
I layered out 4 classes of people that I witnessed at Silver Reef. She's gambling, and I'm kicking back and just note taking.
People watching
of the freakiness going on.
What did you see?
It's a whole nother hour where, like, seriously, once I start, it's going to be just ugly.
Steamroller.
But before Black Friday, we're going to cover the freakiness of Silver Reef during Halloween.
That's what we need to do, a remote from the Silver Reef.
Oh, there we go.
It's right down the street from my house. Crazy.
All right, so, God, what happened with FanDuel again?
I don't know.
Didn't you got your ass whooped?
First thing I got to say is, for a guy who chose the Jets as a defense.
Negative points.
And a player who didn't play. And still finished 6th, not too far behind number 1.
Yeah, to be honest, this was, last week we had our winner who had the highest points so far this season. And then this week, I think our winner, that was the lowest score from a winner.
But it's a new winner.
No, it is not.
It's a repeat winner.
It is our second repeat, Silas Geiger.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
No,
Silas. I picture that guy like he's in there doing his HTML coding. And he's like controlling the world.
Okay, so he is definitely down to the wire. Sunday morning, he's changed it about 15 times before break. We work together, so he's definitely doing his thing.
You have to hand them to me because they don't flutter like you anticipated. So we had a technical gaffe there.
So the last time
we had a prop failure.
He got Mosaic, and his hit out of there was Barry Sanders numbered.
I remember that. Yeah.
So let's see. All
right. So we're doing Phoenix.
I'm talking up the hype for the Phoenix. So if he is a Hawks fan, so probably you can get him a DK.
Does he sell anything?
No,
he doesn't.
He doesn't. So. This is him getting into it more so because I talk about it, and he's all about fantasy. So fantasy is definitely his go-to.
All right. So through the beauty of and magic of television, you guys are going to see a picture-in-picture, hopefully, right? Or did we lose the ability to do that too? No. Okay. We've been having technical difficulties recently.
Nah, we never have technical difficulties.
All right.
But we don't care.
Let's see.
All right. We have Nick Chubb. I'm moving my mic a little bit closer so I can speak into it clearly. Nick Chubb. Oh, man of the hour. Ben DiNucci Silver.
Nice little hollow.
Yeah, not too bad. Hollow silver. I can never figure out which one. It changes every other week. Game over. Julio Jones pink.
$199 or
It is. Wow, you got the numbering.
got
the numbering memorized. Did you have the Allure numbering memorized?
No.
Pink. All right. And what do we call this? Game over. James White. Is it a hollow or a silver?
looks just hollow. I'm calling hollow.
He's going just hollow on that. And the rookie. John Hightower. Now, explain to me 3/4 of the rookie class in their combine or new era underwear. Explain that to me.
I hate it.
So, okay, so what I'm looking at is it's third round guys and later from what I'm seeing. So, Cincinnati got Burrow round 1, T. Higgins round 2, Logan Wilson's round 3. And that's where it goes into underwear.
So that's is that like practice squad guys?
No, Logan Wilson, he's starting linebacker right now in Cincinnati. But it's what I also noticed is trying to put together the set. So I put it all in binder. And so 1 through 100 is your vets. And then 101 to 200 is your rookies. So it
Holy crap, he's got the breakdown. Like, I haven't even
It starts out with your top round guys.
Sure.
So it starts out 100s. The early 100s are all in their pro uniforms, and then it filters all the way because Logan Wilson is 198 in the set, so he's definitely got the combine underwear in. But what's weird is I saw the Thaddeus Moss. It wasn't combine underwear. It was LSU gear.
Well, then we have also new era. Like jackets and sweats.
Yeah, so that was what was weird is you got the pro uniforms, you got the combine, but then a rando with his LSU gear, which was interesting. But I mean, I think these are freaking awesome cards. I love them visually to collect. I mean, I got them all in order right now. You know, I've sold 2 of the cards. I sold a Herbert Hollow. And then I sold the Aaron Jones autograph.
So FanDuel, if they win, right, they got to place first.
They got to place the top dog.
They get a $30 rip cred with Turf and Dirt, and they get to pick their pack, and then we rip it on the Instagram channel. Any trends coming up this week? Anything new?
Well, this week's your 4-bye team. You know, these bye weeks, you got Cincinnati, Cleveland, Philly, and the Rams are your bye.
Okay.
So that makes, for me,
a little tougher decision.
There goes my Bengals. So it does loosen up, for me to select a little bit more because I always tend to either pick a Bengal or try to not pick guys who are playing against Cincinnati.
Sure.
So that's a little tough one here. You got Thursday night. Packers 49ers, no Garoppolo for the rest of the year, no Kittle for the rest of the year.
Is it bad that I don't know the schedule? Like, if you were to tell me Thursday night, I would have said, like, the Dayton Acetopes versus, the Hartford Yard Goats. That would have been like...
But yeah. Depends on where your mind is.
Packers 49ers, so, you got sleeper guys. So, Ross Dwelly.
Is Deebo Samuel's out there?
Deebo's out, so Kendrick Bourne.
Isn't Mullins? Didn't
Mullins came in?
I think Mullins played pretty well.
I think
you think he's getting the start.
I think
he's going to get the start.
You think Jimmy G is going to get cut?
Well, even from a 49ers, one of my coworkers, 49ers fan, he does feel that Garoppolo needs to be
comfortable. He looked super comfortable in there.
You might have had a good pair of underwear on.
I don't know, but it was like this guy looks better than my Daniel Jones.
Yeah, well, he had some really shining moments last year too.
He didn't trip when he was like
trying
in
to
the open
80
fields.
No.
Okay,
but then you got the Packers. They have AJ Dillon, who's got COVID.
Oh, he's got COVID now.
He's got COVID.
Oh, I just pulled a card of his. Do you think I got COVID now?
Jamal Williams is out.
I might have
Aaron
COVID.
Aaron Jones is questionable. So their top 3 running backs could potentially be out. So
and Dalton just got put on that list.
Dalton got put on COVID list, but I think that was more like I want to say
that's a roster move.
That's a loophole there.
That's a roster move.
That was
that's
a concussion.
Is that kind of like any given Sunday when the doctor's talking to the coach and
because
you can. Or not?
I think the trick is that you can put him on there. And it's easier to remove them off of that than if you had to put them on the IR or anything, because then they're on there for 6 weeks, I believe, is the minimum. So, but yeah, there's a lot of injuries this week. Monday night is always intriguing to me for fantasy because it's that last hope. So that's how Silas won. He had Rob Gronkowski. The next team had Evan Ingram, and then there was another team who had Scotty Miller. So those were the 3 who were competing for the top spot. Gronkowski's touchdown is what put him over. So having a guy in Monday night is always fun. So you got it's going to be a terrible game. New England and the Jets is what I believe is
Belichick
Monday night.
is taking it in the shorts now.
Well,
Holy buckets.
They made a very pointless trade today. I mean, it got a receiver.
They were talking about the divorce gets uglier every Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty. So, do you think he's done at the end of the year?
Who, Cam?
No, Belichick.
I hope he goes to the Giants. We're going to be looking for a coach.
Sure.
I don't think he's going to be done. I think he's going to have something to prove. He's going to try to resurrect
I say he's
this.
going back. He'll be done and go back to the Giants.
So, FanDuel, how do they participate?
I will post the link definitely on our Facebook page. We'll have a link.
Which is?
Typically on the YouTube.
Kards
down at the
Korner.
bottom.
Cards with a K, corner with a K.
So subscribe, share it. Let's try to get as many people as we can. This week was a little bit down. We didn't quite get to 20. The more the merrier. Let's
I would
go.
like to see
if we win, do we pick?
No.
That's
I would like to see the views from one episode to the other break 100. I don't think we've done that yet.
No.
From a 6-day. We're getting closer and closer, but we haven't quite broke the century mark
from
yet.
one episode to
from
the
one
next.
episode to the next.
But it also comes down.
It
also comes down to when it gets posted.
Oh man, that was brutal.
That
was
he pulled a Tony with producer.
Hey, that's not the producer's fault. It's technical.
Absolutely rough.
It's the technical side.
I wouldn't
of
even go there. I'd be sleeping on the. Oh my god! All right,
I'm gonna say you said that was all you. You
all
told
right,
me.
So next week, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna jinx it, and I know it, and it's gonna really irritate
We will
me.
not have a guest.
We're gonna have a guest next week.
What?
Believe it or not, we're gonna give this guest thing one more shot, see what happens.
Oh, how much you pay this guy?
It's gonna be a fortnight of money. So. So to next week's topics is going to be a little bit interesting. So we're going to do the same thing, recap product, talk about product that came out, product that's going to come out. But there is a nasty, nasty storm brewing on the horizon with Topps update. Nasty brewing. Nasty. I might have started it, but
what is it? I mean, what's the gist of it?
We finally got a checklist breakdown. And they decided to push all the names, right? Guys that were halfway through the season, starters and beyond. And they decided to push them to 2021 Series 1. People are pissed. Like Evan White on the roster from day one. No update card. He has a prospect insert. So his rookie potentially will be in 2021 Series 1.
Gotcha.
Never before has full releases gone by when somebody is rookie qualified and their rookie card come out.
They're trying to extend that.
Joe
extra
Adele
money.
was pushed. Joey Bart was pushed. Casey Mize was pushed.
Mike Baum was pushed.
And people are pissed, because Update was ordered on and sought after on the hopes of these rookies. So we're going to dive deeper into that because Update will have come out by the next episode. I'll have had my hands on some of the product. We're going to actually talk to some people about it. We're going to talk to our guest who is a baseball collector. So this will fall under his,
And he's
per
a
view.
Tops guy. He likes that.
He likes, he just likes what he likes.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about sleeper rookies next week. Like we talk about Randy Arozarena having a resurgence in the World Series.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero playing well in the NBA Finals. We're going to kind of dive into, does that affect their cards? How does it affect it? Do you hold it? Do you sell it? Blah. We're just we're going to
for sure
cover the whole topic.
Does that resurrect their card?
And that is a legit thing. And so I think we've touched on it before, but I think we really need to make it a poignant topic next week. So we will do that. And then, of course, releases coming out. We've got MLS Soccer. We've got Illusions Football.
Okay.
Which is ungodly amount of money this year. Holy crap.
Great.
And then, for all you guys that love hammering card companies about going back to the well, 2019-20 Hoops premium stock.
Oh.
They're calling it premium stock. So they're basically going to do a thicker card in the Hoops quality.
With the same picture.
With
Shaquille O'Neal inserts.
No. Yep. And you're going to get high velocity, LeBron James will have a resurgence and Zion will become collectible once again. So...
And do you think that's going to hurt? See, to me, that hurts it. Like the value of
that's an argument to be made.
All those
I've seen
rookies.
the Zion cards.
Because at the end of this week,
Yeah.
we have 2021 product. The second and third title of 2021 basketball are releasing.
Mm-hmm.
And the following week, we're coming out with a 2019-20 Hoops product.
Hey, let them burn their bridges. I mean,
whatever.
That's
it is
that's
what it
their
is.
money.
So I'm going to get into some Clearly Donruss tomorrow. So if you guys want to view it when Turf and Dirt goes live on Instagram, you're going to want to take a look. It's going to be brutal. So, yeah. So episode 7. How's it feel?
Real good.
Episode after Halloween.
Real good.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun coming up. I'm a holiday guy. Like,
ho, ho, ho.
Leading up to Thanksgiving and the ho, ho, ho season. It's going to be fun. We're going to decorate. We're going to do the whole thing.
You're going to deck the halls.
We're going to deck the halls. Yoda Gene is going to go from COVID mask candy carrier
to the elf and magic.
to an elf on the shelf.
There you go.
Holiday lights, garland, and candy canes in the bowl.
That's what Baby Yoda should be the elf on the shelf. Like,
there
just
we go.
Put him everywhere.
So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. I know that we've kind of raved a little bit this episode, but
it's what we do. It's raw.
That is what we do. How do you feel about it? You feel all right about it?
I say, listen, hit that little bell button for notifications. Subscribe, like us.
Love
Don't
us.
miss out on any of the
Hate
controversies.
Us. And just remember, giveaway, right? First 3 people, like, subscribe, talk, post on the Kards Korner YouTube channel. You will win the giveaway prizes. We will ship it at our cost. Doesn't cost you anything to enter. All you got to do is interact.
So just do it.
So, all right, guys, that was going to do it for us. I want to thank you for all watching and listening.
Thank you.
And we will see everybody next week.
And we're
Peace.
out.